Hi, so I'm going to talk for a minute about this great video that I just recently watched. It is on the Active Self-Protection app, which is available in the App Store of whatever your favorite smart device is. And this particular video is by Memphis Beech, and it's called Dry Fire Basics. Now, if you don't know who Memphis Beech is, he is an amazing instructor, a phenomenal competitive shooter, an all-around amazing gentleman. And I've been watching this video. I've watched it, I think, 3 or 4 times now. And even though it's called Dry Fire Basics, there's so much information in there for people who are new to dry fire, as well as people who are more experienced with dry fire. The fundamentals are the fundamentals, and personally, I feel like I can always use refreshing and reevaluating those fundamentals, and I appreciate the ability to look at those fundamentals from different angles and from different viewpoints. And this video really helped me with that. Also, one of the things that the video introduced me to was this app, which, let's see if you can see it. Let me turn off this light here, get rid of the glare. There we go. It's called the Dry Practice Drill, the Dry Practice Drill app. And if you can see, it allows you to do all sorts of customization to your par timer. It allows you to create a name for it. It allows us create a name for the specific drill that you can customize. It allows you to set par time. You can also set the tone. You can have a vocal ready command. It gives you the option of customizing the reset time, the number of reps that you can do. It allows you to designate if it's going to be a draw and fire drill, a reload drill, or a malfunction drill. It also allows you to enable how many sets of strings you're going to do. So let's say that I have it set here for four reps, and then I've created it that it's going to be, this particular customized drill will have 5 strings. So that will be 5 strings of 4 reps. And if you see up at the top, it says that it's going to start with 1.50 seconds, and it's going to drop down to 1 second. So as the strings continue, the time, my par time, is going to go down. So it's going to allow me to ease into a gentle stretch with my draw to first shot speed. So that's actually what this one is called. It says DTFS, draw to first shot. This is version 2. I have another one that has more reps and drops down from, I think it's like 1.15 to 0.90. So it's just a different exercise. So I'm gonna work with this par timer, and I'm gonna work with this technique that Memphis talks about that I found utterly intriguing, and I've been working with it a little bit in dry fire already. And the concept of this technique is that when you draw and marry your hands, the concept is that the support hand, which in my case is my left hand, is going to pull my firearm out, versus what I have been more inclined to do is to think of it as my support hand is a support and not a steering force, and rather it's my dominant hand that I've been pushing out with versus pulling out with the support hand. It's a subtle difference, but the refinement for me has brought some significant insight and some changes that I'm liking. What this is helping me do is a few different things. It's reminding me that when I get that support hand, that it needs to be strong. Now I try and remember that all the time, but thinking of it as being the force that's pulling my pistol out, it reminds me grip, 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 pull, grip, pull, which is significant because I find that, especially when in dry fire, that remembering to have the same force of grip that I need to have when I'm working with recoil mitigation is something that I just need to work on. I need to be consistent, and I need to remind myself almost constantly, grip, 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 because in live fire there's going to be that kick on the bang. So that is one thing that I've noticed, that it helps me establish the idea of pulling with my support hand, helps me establish a strong support hand grip right out of the holster. The other thing I notice is that because the support hand is the driving force bringing this pistol forward more than the primary dominant hand, that it's allowing me to coast to a finish more smoothly. I'm noticing that when I'm driving forward with the dominant hand and then slapping together or chopping up and under with the support hand and presenting, that I tend to see more of a wobble, specifically a wobble to the left, as my support hand grips tighter and compensates for any left push that the dominant primary right hand is exerting on the pistol. So those are two things that I've noticed. And the third thing that I've noticed, let me run by that in my head. Let me show you what I'm working with here. I have an empty pistol, barrel block, empty magazine. So if I'm pulling forward, pulling, 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 I find that pulling it versus pushing it, pulling it, helps present that dot to me where it needs to be more reliably, more efficiently, and more effectively than when I'm pushing with the dominant hand. And another thing that it does, so I'm going to talk about four things. The fourth thing that it does is that it allows me to keep my primary hand more relaxed, which means that my trigger finger can work more smoothly. So instead of having a super, super tight grip with my primary hand, which again, I still want to have a strong grip with my primary hand, but these are all presenting on the A of a reduced size IDPA target. It's about 7 feet in front of me. Ah, that one is to the left. Let's focus. Alright, so that's all feeling really good, and that's with me focusing more on pulling with my left hand as opposed to pushing with my right. So let's see how this works with my timer. I'm going to do 20 shots total. I didn't mean for this to be such a long video, but that's okay. So 20 shots total, 4 shot strings each. Each time I do it, it's going to drop down a little bit, starting at 1.5 seconds, draw the first shot, ending at 1 second, draw the first shot. So here we go. I didn't like that one. I didn't remember to pull. better. Ooh, that was good. Wobbled a lot at the end, but I like the presentation that I'm seeing. That one was low, right? That one was too high. Low. That's good. Pull with the left. That was good. Tighter grip. Ooh, that was good. That was good. That was great. That was 112. We're at 112 par right now. Too much pushing with the right hand. Pull with the left hand. Work on that. Better. That was to the left. That was a good edge, but I didn't really see my sight. Oh, nice. Don't push it out quite so hard. Low to the left. All right. So, observations on 20 shots, which started at 1.50 seconds and dropped down to 1 second. When I remembered in the moment to pull with my left hand, and also when I remembered not to thrust it forward, but right. You know what? Remember, important thing for myself. As soon as I get that support hand on, get that finger on the trigger. Yes. That finger on the trigger. Ooh, didn't have my support hand. It was all wonky. Didn't have my support hand gripped in tight. Better. So, things to work on. Going to keep working on it. I like this new concept of pulling with the support hand. I feel like I'm still working out some of the kinks, but I like it. Overall, I like what I'm seeing with it, and I'm going to keep working on it, working with it in dry fire, and hopefully get to make it to the range soon and test it out in live fire. So again, that's the video on the Active Self-Protection app, which I think everyone should subscribe to. It is the best bang for the buck. It has been the most worthwhile investment I have made on my journey training with firearms, and as a self-defender, and as someone who aspires to be the best version of myself as a good, sane, sober, moral, and prudent person that I can be. It is a phenomenal app, and the classes alone, it's got so many amazing classes, full classes on this app, that alone, in my opinion, makes this app completely worthwhile. So again, that's the Active Self-Protection app, available in your app store. And this particular video that I'm referencing is a video called Dry Fire Basics by Memphis Beech, and I highly recommend it. especially for new shooters who are interested in getting into the practice of dry fire, but for anyone who is a dry fire practitioner or wants to be proficient with their firearm.